Something that always captures my attention in life is when two things that are different share similarities. The ritualization of contemporary performance art is an example of this. Based primarily on the theories of ritual by Cathrenine Bell and performance by Richard Sheshner, I will find the intersection of performance art and ritual through analyzing the Silva Series by Ana Mendieta. This interdisciplinary meeting point is important because it is a window not only into artistic process, but also individual identity formation. Performance art intersects with ritual practice through the elevation of the visual performance of personal experience. While sharing these actions collectively, performance art becomes ritual and ritual becomes performance art. We can better understand personal identity as well reclaiming identity by discovering this point of intersection between ritual practice and performance art. The image you see here is Ana Mendieta's Silva Series Untitled number 259, made in 1976. Mendieta is the focal point of my research because of her ritualization of performance art. Before I go any further, I will clarify the two key definitions that have informed my research thus far. Ritual or ritualization. This definition is based on Cathrenine Bell's ritual theory, which enables an objective understanding of what ritual is. There are many viewpoints and social aspects of what ritual can be, which when we attempt to separate them, can cut the concept of ritual off from the very social activities it is connected to. In Catherine's words, rather than impose categories of what is or is not ritual, it may be more useful to look at how human activities establish and manipulate their own differentiation and purposes, in the very doing of the act within the context of other ways of acting. Therefore, ritualization is the purposeful emphasis of some activities to elevate them from other more mundane activities. Performance art. This definition is partly influenced by Richard Sheshner's performance theory, as well as refers to the art in question. By performance art, I'm referring to the contemporary concept of that is primarily the result of Dadaist and Fluxist art movements, where the artists who practice performance art embody their art and become the art object. Sheshner's influence here is that we all perform every day of our life. Performance art reminds us of that by emphasizing certain things. With these definitions in mind, I can introduce what has informed my research thus far. In layman's terms, ritual is respected and performance is merely entertainment. Yet there is an undeniable sacredness to art. Performance art utilizes the repetitions that create emphasis in ritual. It also employs abstract symbolism and iconography. The shared techniques are paramount, but does this mean there is an intersection or similarity? The image you see here is Ana Mendieta's Silva Series Ilsa, made in 1981. Mendieta called the Silva Series body earth sculptures because through individual private performances, she made them by combining her body with the land. I believe performance art and ritual do intersect, and that partly what causes this intersection is personal expression of identity. A great deal of what makes performance so impactful is the intimate and personal subject matter. This is something we become more aware of by the emphasis on these private artistic expressions. This shared process of emphasizing particular subject matter found in ritualization draws our attention to the private and the personal. So far, I have shown two images from Ana Mendieta's Silva series. The one you currently see here is called Tree of Life. It includes the artist using her body as part of the art. I've chosen Ana Mendieta and her Silva series as the case study for my research on ritual and performance art because, as a performance artist, her work both captures the essence of performance art as well as straddles the concept of ritual. In fact, her Silva series was heavily inspired by the Santeria religion as well as her own expression of self. Mendieta even refers to her process as a ritual. Making earth body sculptures is not the final stage of a ritual, but a way and means of asserting my emotional ties with nature and conceptualizing religion and culture. I will examine Ana Mendieta's Silva series through the lens of a few theoretical approaches to further unravel the interconnection between ritual and performance art. Ritual theory, as established by Cathrenine Bell, will act as a backbone for objectively identifying the ritualization within Mendieta's work. Richard Sheshner's performance theory will closely follow the applications of ritual theory as a contrast and reflection. Psychoanalytical theory will dig deeper into the subconscious representations of self-depiction in the work of Mendieta. And finally, I'll be utilizing biographical information about Ana Mendieta simply for understanding context, timeline, and potential purpose of her Silva series. Like a collection of colorful filters, I will pass Ana Mendieta's Silva series through these 4 theoretical approaches, revealing the intersection of ritualization and performance art in her work. On the slide, you see Ana Mendieta's Silhouette en Fuego from 1979. Ana Mendieta often used very organic materials to create her silhouette figures, as well as her other forms of performance art: fire, plants, vegetation, mud, and blood. The image on this slide is another untitled silhouette from the Silva series by Ana Mendieta. This was one that she created in Mexico. By discovering where performance art and ritual intersect figuratively and literally, we can better understand individual identity exploration, the communication of personal and intimate symbolism, and moreover, understand what makes art sacred. These are just a few aspects of why pursuing this research is a benefit to interdisciplinary study. There'll be more as it develops. Art is a unique situation where often very private expression and communication is shared publicly. In fact, the public or collective experience of it is contingent on its process. As Richard Sheshner said, art manipulates on an individual basis what ritual does collectively. So in a sense, performance art is able to practice a public and yet private ritual. This fusion of 2 seeming opposites is very effective for the artist and observer. Understanding this dichotomy, the intersection of these, is truly only the tip of the Freudian iceberg. And as we dive deeper, so much more will be revealed. Through the lens of 4 theoretical approaches, I will examine the Silva series by Ana Mendieta to find the intersection of ritual and performance art. I expect that this will lead to a deeper understanding of human identity and the expression of that. The process and practice of ritualization and performance art creates a bridge between individual and collective expression, which appears to be a conflict but is a successful marriage. Performance art intersects with ritual practice through the elevation of the visual performance of personal experience. While sharing these actions collectively, performance art becomes ritual and ritual becomes performance art. The image on the right is a still from the short film Sweat Blood by Ana Mendieta, made in 1973, the same time she was working on the Silva series. I included this image as a conclusion because as a self-portrait, it captures her ritualization, her emphasis on the personally significant, just even in a self-portrait. These are my references and my image credits. Thank you.